Hi folks, I'm Mario Guerra, the two-time former mayor of the great city of Downey. And I'm here today with my co-host, Eric Pierce, the editor of the Downey Patriot. And you're listening, we have a special guest, and you're listening, you're watching, Talking Downey with Mario.
And Eric.
Eric, how are you, sir?
I'm great. We have a guest today.
We have a great guest today. Why don't you introduce our guest today?
Well, I've known our guest today for, 20 years or something, since I started at the Downey Patriot, which was in 2002. Steve Roberson. I've known you in professional capacities, but today you're here as a board member of the Downey YMCA. How are you, Steve?
I'm doing great, and thanks for having me here to give an update on where we are with the new Downey YMCA.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask, how many organizations are you a part of?
Well, Eric, I've been with the Y for probably 35 years on the board at the Y. I've been with Kiwanis, the Morning Kiwanis Club here in Downey for 35 years also. I've been with ARC. I just went back on the ARC board recently. And, of course, the Downey Association of Realtors on and off over the years with that, too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah. I've known you for most of those organizations. I've only been on the Y board, 20 years. Okay. And he was already an old man there for before that, by then. So, anyways. Well, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. And as you said earlier, we wanted to invite you today. A lot of people are talking, you drive by it, and it's painful. It's very painful for all of us that went to the Y to see the poor YMCA on Downey Avenue boarded up. But there's hope. There's a purpose for it. And Steve, can you tell us what's going to be happening with the YMCA, Downey Family YMCA?
Absolutely. People stop me all the time and ask me, because I've been on the board for so long, we've been raising money so we can put a new YMCA in. Our old one we closed down in 2020 during the pandemic, and the YMCA made a decision not to open it back up. It needed a lot of maintenance, deferred maintenance, and so they've made a decision not to open it up, but we'll have a new YMCA. We've been working on it now for some time, and hopefully we will be in a position to knock the old Y down the end of May, beginning of June. And from that point, within 2 years, we hope to have a new YMCA at the same location there on Downey Avenue in Arnett.
So this isn't going to be a renovation. It's going to be a brand new.
We're gonna knock it down total. The Y actually owns the property, of course, where the parking lot is, where the Y facility is, and there's a little commercial building right there on the corner. They own a small house in the back of the Y. And then they own the little parking lot there on the corner of Arnett. Yeah, in Downey Avenue. So we're going to redo that, and we'll have a new YMCA at that same location.
I think that's so important, because people ask me all the time too, oh my God, it's a terrible location. It's hard to park. I can't believe you're just going to do it right there. And I said, well, there's hope. Okay, it is going to be tore down, and I've seen the design. Tell us a little bit about the design, why it's going to be better at the same spot. I mean, besides obviously.
Yeah, the current Y is a large building. It's about 60 to 65,000 square feet, and it's costs a lot of money to maintain a building that large. Also, the current Y, we've always had a real issue with parking. We have around 100 parking spaces in our large lot, and then we have across the street on Arnett about 30 or 35 parking spaces. So when we knock the building down, it's going to be a smaller facility. We'll have about 20,000 square feet. We're going to have 2 pickleball courts on the outside. That's a big deal. Pickleball courts is a big deal. I don't know how to play, but apparently a lot of people do, and it's a big deal.
I was mesmerized on my phone on a reel tape of the longest volley in pickleball history out there, and I'm like, anyway. So
yeah,
I get it.
And we're gonna. It's gonna be visible. So if you're driving down Downey Avenue, you're gonna be able to see the 2 pickleball courts. We're hoping, and we're trying to keep the gym that we have. That's kind of separate from the Y. So we're working now to see if it's possible to keep that. If it's not possible, we're going to probably have some activities up on the basketball and that sort of stuff on the roof of the new Y. If we can keep our existing parking lot as is, we have, like I said, about 100 parking spaces there. We're going to have a new parking lot in the back of the Y with about 40 spaces, and then we'll still have the Arnett parking. So we'll finally solve the issue of not enough parking once we get the new building built.
Wow.
How much do you think this new Y is going to cost?
When we started pricing it, Eric, we started working on the pricing part about 2.5 or 3 years ago. We were going to put the Y at one of the middle schools. We had worked with the Downey School District, and they were very helpful. The school board and Dr. Garcia, Roger Brosman were really helpful. We were close to putting it on Sussman Middle School campus. But the Y preferred to own their property rather than lease the property. And also, when you build on school grounds, it's about 30 to 40% higher than it is if you build just general building. So based on that, we decided to stay at our current location. Also, in addition, there was a tax credit which we may get, which is about $2.5 million. Our location on Downey Avenue qualifies for that tax credit. Had we built at Sussman, the location, we wouldn't have qualified. For those reasons, we're going to build at the same location. So when we priced it out 2.5, 3 years ago, it was about $14 million to build what we needed to build. So that's been our goal, to raise the $14 million. But in that period of time, that 2.5, 3 years, prices have gone up, labor's gone up, construction costs have gone up. So probably when it all said and done, the cost is going to be around 17 to 18 million. That's just my guess. Right now, we have the architects at the Y working with the city of Downey to find out exactly what we need to put there, where we're going to put it, the setbacks and all of that. Once we get that figured out, then we will reprice it, and then we'll know exactly what we need to build it.
I do want to add on, when you talk about the school district, I know that Dr. Brosmer went along with you and several others, and even toured some YMCAs that were at schools on there. So I want to give them some love, that they were very open to it and tell all that. And then several of them are members of the YMCA board.
Correct.
The president of the school board, Gigi Saab is a YMCA board member.
Dr. Garcia is also.
So yeah, and Dr. Garcia. So I do want to on there, but yeah, I was kind of surprised too about the building costs on a school property. That's just, I never thought about it, but I guess that's why schools are so expensive.
Their requirements are a lot more strict.
Yeah,
than
of
what
course.
regular
And I mean, some of it should be, but you think for the Y on there. But anyway, so I'm glad. Thank you for that. So altogether, how much can you tell us? How much you've raised, or how close we are to it? So anybody that's got opportunities to engage, we don't have all the money, so we still need some.
Yes, we're still we haven't really opened the campaign up to the general public. We want to know a more accurate number of what we're trying to raise. But to date, we're doing really well.
Okay.
Day before yesterday, we had raised 11 million. And then yesterday, we were notified, if everything goes correct, Congressman Garcia is trying to get us another 3 million. So if that comes through, we're right around 14 million pledged or raised. Our board of directors has given roughly 800,000. We had $1 million to start off. One of our board members has given us 5 million.
Yeah, incredible.
The Hogue Foundation, which Larry and Helen Hogue were here in Downey for many years, their foundation has given us $1 million. There's 2 Kiwanis clubs in Downey. Mine is the Morning Club, and we're giving 250,000. The Noon Kiwanis Club's giving 250,000. So all of that money together is right now, like I said, with Congressman Garcia's. Hopefully that comes through. We're right at about 14 million.
That's awesome.
Is that enough, do you think, to start construction?
Yes, we have enough, Eric, that we can knock the building down. As soon as we get some preliminary stuff worked out with the city, we'll be in a position to knock the existing building down, and then we can and then again, as soon as the architects and the city work out the details, we can begin to start construction on the new facility.
Steve, from a conservative one, and a conservative timeline, when you say, when can you and I play pickleball, that you can kick my me.
Well, I don't know how to play pickleball.
Well, neither do I, so that's what I'm saying.
Somebody's
going to
have to teach me, and I'm old, so they'll have to teach me slowly.
But you're not out of shape. I am.
But
so anyway.
once we knock the building down, we're looking at about 2 years, Mario, from that point to when we will be able to open up the new YMCA.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it gives our community hope because it was so loved for so many years. It still is loved down there. I mean, I can't wait personally. My family was always a member of it. But Steve, what you've done, and I was part of a little small committee to talk about how to do this. We used to be at Marie Callender's with Meredith and Todd Core and stuff. But you've taken on the reins of this for many years. And even when it closed and with everything else on there, you have taken this and you have led, and you led by example. So I can't thank you enough. What you've done, a lot of people don't know that. And there's several others too, but not like Steve. Steve's been the one that's leading the charge. He's planting the flag, and our community will forever be grateful to you.
This wouldn't happen without Steve.
It wouldn't.
100% it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, there's a lot of people, though. There's a lot of people. We have a financial development committee. Now, I'm the chair of that committee, but we have...
that's the other part of it.
But we have people that are working on this all the time. And,
sure.
But Steve's being modest because you also need to have that persistence that Steve has and the ability to ask for money.
Right. And to explain the vision.
Explain the vision. To deal with the government side of things. And, Steve's being very modest, but it takes a special not everybody can do it.
Yeah.
But
Steve got mad at me recently on there because, with the space thing, we were at a board meeting,
the space center,
and he asked me, "What do you think about the city giving money?" I'm like, "The city owns the space thing, and they need and the whole thing." Well, this is more important. And I'm like, okay, just shut up. Don't argue with Steve because Steve's right, but I didn't know.
They're both really important to the city. But what I know is the Y helps more kids here, on a regular daily basis, and it helps more seniors on a regular basis. As an example, we have the large pool for swimming and swimming lessons, and the seniors jump in there and freeze to death too, because that's where they do their water exercises.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll have enough money. We've got it designed. We're designing it so we can put a warm water pool in addition to the regular pool.
Yeah.
And hopefully on the initial building, we're going to be able to do both pools if we have enough money. So the seniors will have a warm water pool. Disabled people can go in there and exercise, and small kids too. When we give the swimming lessons, they can go in the warm water pool for the swimming lessons. People think of the Y as a gym, and it does have a gym features. We have treadmills, we have stationary bikes, we have freeways, all that stuff. But the Y is family activities. It's a family program. When we're still on, I believe, 5 of the school sites, we give aftercare services to the parents, for their kids, and hopefully that'll expand too as time goes on. When my younger son was small, my grandmother took care of my kids for me. My grandmother passed away, and we didn't have Darlene and I had no place to. We didn't want to put my son with somebody we didn't know, so he went to Price Elementary School, and so he just went to the YMCA after daycare, after school care, and that just helped us tremendously. So when I help the Y, I'm coming from they've helped me on a personal basis. They've helped me, and they help a lot of families here in town. They have, for example, we have programs for obesity. There's whole families that have issues with obesity. We've worked with Kaiser and with the Y to put diets together, exercise programs for families to work on obesities. You're not going to get that in a gym, but you do get that at the YMCA.
The Y was one of the founding partners, along with the Healthy Downey, when we had a coalition of 10 different organizations to promote health in our city. On there, that was my last year as mayor, and the Y jumped in right away. That was Ann back then, and so forth. I'm going to date myself. I was a Gray Y member when I was a little kid.
Okay.
What is
At
that?
the
A gray Y?
It's called Gray Y. It was like the Indian guides of the. There's different group and age levels for the YMCA.
Oh, that's
so
right.
this was like in the '60s. So
You probably can't do that anymore today.
On there, well, I don't think so. You're right. I don't know if we want to, but there was an organization for the Gray Y, and it's almost like the DJA. We played all three sports within that. It was set up that way, and then believe it or not, I was a lifeguard of the YMCA, the one on Miles Avenue, Huntington Park. So I learned, I practically live there. So the YMCA is, tattooed right here, close to my heart on there. So it will always be on there. But yeah.
So you were in the red shorts and.
They were a little bit bigger shorts. But, well, no, actually they were pretty short, But I always wore a C-shirt. I didn't, even back then when I was, a young man, I didn't have the stomach thing like my son does, the
six pack.
So, yeah, I always wore a thing, but I could do all the strokes. I'm actually a really good swimmer because of that, but it's all I owe it to the Y, and it gave me confidence as a 14-year-old and 15-year-old, and then even coming back a first year of college of being a lifeguard there. It actually put some money in my pocket. I was paid $2.10 an hour.
Big dollar.
$2.10. I thought that was great.
But I when people ask what makes Downey a special community, it's always, we have our own school district, we have our own police department, we have our own fire department.
Absolutely.
We're very independent, but we also have our own YMCA.
Yeah.
Not every community can say that.
Right.
It's a special thing to have your own YMCA.
Right.
And Downey, it seems forever, has had one.
Right.
And I think we're missing it. It'll be very nice to get it back.
It'll be great. And our attendance is going to go up. Our membership will go up with the new facility. We had 1,400 members, 1,400 units when we closed down. And at the Y, a unit could be one person, it could be a single
Family,
person, it could be a family of 7 or 8. So, but we had 1,400 units. We've done a couple of studies, and one of them was if we build the new Y, how's that going to impact us as far as membership?
Right.
And the study came back, we will go to about 2,400 units shortly after we open. So even though we're in a smaller facility, our number of members is going to increase dramatically with the new facility.
I drive by the newer Y. I think it's over in Lakewood, off of Woodruff, I think. And it's I don't know if this one's going to look like it, but that one's beautiful. It looks state of the art.
My son is college last year. He's now medical school at Zoo Pacific, Ryan. So he worked there, and it was gorgeous. They even have a farmer's market in the parking lot on Thursday or Friday night.
Nice.
It's beautiful. No, it's beautiful. So if we're and we're not going to give up anything on them, but if we're anywhere close to that, we're going to be great shape on there. It's going to be
That's great.
It's other, and you want a place for families to feel safe, to get services besides a gym on there, and it's interesting is because when doing Healthy Downey, I was obviously there every day, but even later years, you would go in there and there would be, depending on the time, the seniors or the regulars that you knew. And it was a community there, depending on which rooms you're working out at. And then you just look through there, and on the other side is a bunch of kids with a couple of teachers and their after-school care in there. And it was a good place to be.
We're hoping too, Mario, when we open up, we're going to have an area where kids can go in and study too. So not just to work out, but kids can meet and study. Safe place for
That's
for
awesome.
kids. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, is there anything you'd like to, we're on YouTube and on Spotify and podcast, wherever you get your podcast. Is there anything you'd like to say to our viewers, our listeners, specifically about this, and if there's anything they can do to help? And by the way, can you, and we'll get this from you later, maybe get us a couple of the sketches, if you will, on there, and our great producer over there, Brandon, will put this into this episode somehow, so at least people can see that, and maybe that'll be our thumbnail on it. Anything you'd like to add, Steve?
Yeah, sure. I'll be glad to. Well, we have some renderings, but we're not quite sure that that's what it's going to look like. Okay. So I know the Y's kind of hesitant to put those out, but we still need help. We're still going to be a ways for what money wise from what we actually need to construct the Y the way it needs to be constructed. I want to take the opportunity that we've had such good support from the city. One of the councilmen in particular, Mario Trujillo, has helped me a lot, kind of give me some direction as far as the city goes. We still need the city to work with us on a proactive basis, rather than, make it as easy, not break any rules, but make it as easy as possible to construct a Y, rather than making it as difficult as sometimes things happen. So that would be helpful. If people want to contribute, we definitely can take the funds. Maybe we can put something on there they can send contributions to, or contact.
We'll put it on there. Send us the contact information. We'll put it at the end of the episode.
And they can call me anytime too. And if you have specific questions, I don't know if I can always answer the questions, but I'll try to get an answer if somebody has a question that I can't answer. But we're going forward. I'm excited for the city. This helps so many people here that it's just a great thing, like Eric was mentioning, for the city to have their YMCA. So the sooner that we can get everything through and finished and back open, the better for everybody.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited, and thank you so much for coming on.
you.
Any further questions?
No, I'm excited to see it open again.
Yeah.
And again, thank you, Steve, for being so transparent too about the whole process, because it's a lot of, we're talking about a lot of money here.
A lot of money.
But the Y has been super transparent the whole way. So thank you for that.
We sure appreciate it. Eric and I, we did the first day that the fence went up on the current one on here. We're both texting. Is like, how sad, with sad faces and stuff.
With the barbed wire.
The barbed wire, that was the other part that it just looked like,
it's pretty sad.
Just shoot me now.
But give us a little bit longer. It's going to look, construction will get started, and it's going to look very, very
nice. We know
we
will. And we can literally walk from right here. And that's what I used to do, walk over there. So anyway, Steve, we can't thank you enough. Your leadership has been amazing. Like Eric said, your transparency, having the information, you sure made a lot of people happy. And we're proud of you, and thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, and thanks for this city.
Great.
Thanks.
So, folks, on there, we're grateful for you to listen. We're grateful for you to watch on there. We want to thank Financial Partners Credit Union for their sponsorship that makes this available to all of us. And we're going to keep on talking about Downey issues. We're grateful to the Downey YMCA for everything that they're doing, and especially for Steve Robertson. So, folks, thank you for listening and watching Talking Downey with Mario
and Eric.